Hello students, I am Dr. S.P. Singh, Department of English, Government College Viratnagar. This video lecture is meant for B Part 2 students belonging to English literature. You have A.K. Ramanujan and his poem of mothers among other things. Let us discuss this poem today. This poem is about the poet's own mother. He takes a trip down the memory lane and conveys to us his own impressions of his mother during the different stages of her life. Although the poet spent 3 decades of his life in the USA, yet he remembers his mother and yearns for her. When the poet's mother was young, she was beautiful and delicate, like silk and white petal of a flower. She wore earrings studded with 3 diamonds, and rays of bright light splashed from them. However, with the passage of time and the burden of misfortunes, she lost her youth and beauty, and she grew very old, withered, and her hands were wrinkled, and her fingers became twisted. Her saris hung loosely around her body in her old age. She could not easily pick up a grain of rice from the kitchen floor. Ramanujan expresses his deep anguish and nostalgic yearning in this poem. Ramanujan has used very particular vivid images through which he described the different stages of his mother's life: youth, middle age, and old age. And the expression of the crying cradle has transferred epithet in it. That means it is the baby who is crying, not the cradle. The mother rushes to the cradle in which the baby is crying. The silk and white petals of the mother's youth is a very appropriate expression. The simile in which the poet compares her hands with a wet eagle's 2 black, pink crinkled feet is very suggestive and expresses the idea beautifully. The poet says that his mother's saris hung upon her body very loosely to suggest that she has become very old and lean and thin. Her saris hung, again he uses a very good simile, like a broken feather from the wing of a wounded bird. It is beautiful simile and adds to the charm of the poem. The poem is remarkable for the beauty of its diction and imagery. The poet's memory plays a vigorous creative role in the poem. Expressions like the silk and white petal of my mother's youth, splash a handful of needles, crying cradle, her hands are a wet eagle's 2 black pink crinkled feet, her saris hung loose, feather of a one-time wing, prove that Ramanujan uses very appropriate words at the right place. He uses simple and everyday words which are meaningful and terse. Thus, this poem can be explained further by quoting lines from the original text. Whatever you say must be spotted from the text, and you must quote 2 or 3 or 4 lines in your statement so that your statements have more validity. What the poet has said is more true. So we should quote time and again from the original text. Even it can be phrases or certain words which are very important thematically or artistically. Thank you, students. We will prepare next lectures in the coming days. Thank you once again.